Hi friends, it's Mrs. Vincent. It has been a very long time for myself since I've actually recorded one of these videos. I know I've shared some of the old read alouds that I had done last year, but this is a brand new one for me. So I'm really excited to read a Calendar Mysteries story. And I thought it would be kind of fun to celebrate the end, by the time we finish, the end of the month of February. So this is a series of books. So if by the time you get to the end you really enjoy this, know that this is just one of many books that are in the series. So this one again is called February Friend. And it's always a good idea to make predictions throughout. So right now, just knowing the title of our story and taking a look at some of the illustrations on the front, what do you think our story might be about? Who do you think these people are on the front? So kind of make that prediction. And remember, prediction is just a fancy word for a guess. What do you think is going to happen in our story? So we will jump right in and find out together. Know that in these novels, if I ever don't show you a page, it's because there is no illustration on that page. So as you get a little bit older and start to be able to read more and more on your own, they tend to take away some of the pictures, and it's your job to make those pictures in your mind, which is a lot of fun as well. They have a table of contents for us. I'll show you, it's a lot of words on this page, but know that there are 12 chapters in our story. So if you ever wanted to just go to a certain chapter, if you remembered maybe a clue that they left us and it happened in that chapter, then you're able to kind of go directly to that page. So you don't have to flip one page at a time. That's the reason we have a table of contents. And if you are familiar with the Calendar Mysteries series, they live in the town of Greenlawn. So it says home of the Calendar Mysteries. And there's a lot going on this page. But know that this is the front of every Calendar Mysteries story. So again, if you ever wanted to pick them up from the local library, or maybe you have them already at home, this is at the front of every one of them. Gives you a little overview of the town. So let's jump right into chapter 1, Secret Valentine. I love Valentine's Day, Bradley Pinto told his twin brother. They were walking to school. Both boys had green caps pulled down over their red hair. They wore matching ski jackets. Why? Because girls send you Valentines? Brian asked. Bradley shook his head. Nope, because Mom always makes cupcakes. He was carrying a box of them. And there is that big box of cupcakes. Both the boys in their matching green hats, matching jackets. And remember, this is February, so this is the middle of the winter. They're bundled up against the cold. And they're making their way into the school building. Bradley and Brian met their friends Nate Hathaway and Lucy Armstrong in front of their school. Nate had black hair like his older sister, Ruth Rose. Lucy's long blonde ponytail hung from under her fuzzy white hat. If Ruth Rose is a familiar character for you, it's because we have heard about her before in another book that we read. So this is, we read the A to Z Mysteries. This is Calendar Mysteries. So some of the characters are the same. So I didn't show you on the front, but these are different characters. We were used to Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose, but these are some siblings. So Nate is this one here. That is Ruth Rose's brother. Lucy has a long blonde ponytail that hung from under her fuzzy white cap. There's Lucy down there. Lucy was staying with her cousin, Dink's family, for 1 year. So Dink is her cousin. Dink was best friends with Ruth Rose and the twins' brother, Josh. Lucy's parents were in Arizona helping to build a school on a reservation. It's pretty cool. Nate tapped the box Bradley was holding. "How many cupcakes did your mom make?" he asked. He rubbed his tummy. 24, Bradley said. "Is that all?" Nate asked. "I could eat 10 all by myself." "Dream on," Lucy said. Nate had brought paper plates, napkins, and plastic forks. Lucy was carrying a bag of heart-shaped candies. Just then, a loud bell clanged. The 4 friends hurried into the school. A bunch of other kids were scurrying to their classrooms as well. A few parents came in carrying boxes. The janitor, Mr. Neater, was mopping up snow puddles. The kids' first-grade teacher, Mr. Voray, waited for them outside his classroom. The rest of the class was already in the room. 2 of the kids were feeding Goldilocks, the hamster, and Yertle, the box turtle. "Happy Valentine's Day," Mr. Voray said. "Please put your goodies on the counter, and everyone hang up your coats." Bradley, Nate, and Lucy carried the cupcakes, cookies, plates, and forks over to the counter. Bradley noticed other cupcakes, a plate of brownies, and a bowl of heart-shaped cookies. Lots of sweet treats in this one. A big red box sat on Mr. Voray's desk. The box was decorated with paper hearts. All the kids knew it was filled with Valentine's. They had been making them all week. There's the box that they're talking about. Getting ready for Valentine's Day. "When can we open the box?" Samantha asked Mr. Voray. "As you know, today is a half day," Mr. Voray said. "I think we should wait till just before we go home. Then we can pass out the Valentines and eat all the treats you kids brought in." The morning went quickly. The first graders did math problems, then they wrote in their journals. When they were finished with that, they read in their library books. Then Mr. Voray read aloud from Charlotte's Web. That's the name of a book. Probably a little bit more advanced than some of you guys are quite ready for. And it's a Lulu of a book for sure, but they're reading from Charlotte's Web. Suddenly, Nate's tummy growled. Mr. Voray looked up. "I guess it's time to eat," he said with a smile. Everyone jumped up and ran for the counter. Kids giggled and bumped into each other as they handed out paper plates, napkins, forks, and cups of juice. Then the kids who had brought food passed it out. Soon, everyone was munching. Bradley bit into a chocolate cupcake with pink frosting. He and his mom had frosted them early that morning. "When can we get our Valentines?" Joyce asked. "Right now," Mr. Voray said. He pulled the lid off the red box and dumped a big pile of Valentine cards on his desk. He picked Flo, Bradley, and Lucy to pass them out to the class. "Hey, Mr. Voray, here's one with no name on it," Bradley said. He held up the envelope. It was red and shaped like a heart. Mr. Voray grinned. "It's a mystery card," he said. "Open it," a bunch of kids yelled. "Go ahead," said Mr. Voray. Bradley opened the envelope. He pulled out a heart-shaped card and showed the class. On the front was a picture of a bunny rabbit. Bradley read what was written inside the card. "Look in the closet," is what it said. Mr. Voray walked over to the closet. He put his ear to the door. "I hear something," he whispered. This is him. His head is tilted because remember he's got his ear like pressed up against the door and he says, "I think I hear something." And that is where they're leaving us hanging for today. It is a cliffhanger for that very reason because we have no idea who or what might be in that closet. All we're left with is a no-name mystery Valentine and a clue from our teacher that says, "I think I might hear something." Chapter 2, next time we're together. Until then, bye friends.